following is a feature presentation of the Replay Sports Channel, the home for great games.
Good evening, football fans, and welcome to the WFL Western Conference Championship game between the St. Louis Stars and the Las Vegas Outlaws. Hi everybody, Glenn Walker here from the Replay Sports Channel studios, getting ready to take you out to the Horizon Dome in Las Vegas for the third consecutive Western Conference Championship meeting between the Stars and the Outlaws. This game is brought to you by Royal Retros, your ultimate one-stop shop representing the teams of the past. If you joined us earlier, you saw the Tampa Bay Bandits book their ticket to London with a 22-13 win over the London Knights. So it'll be the Bandits representing the Eastern Conference as we bring up our playoff bracket here in a moment. Just one game left to decide who will be playing Tampa Bay in Pantheon Bowl 23. St. Louis and Las Vegas, they well acquainted with one another. They played each other back in Week 5 in the Monday Night Football game to cap off Week 5. Las Vegas dominated that game 33-10. Jonathan Taylor, the running back, was the game MVP of that game. 18 carries, 83 yards rushing, 2 catches, 73 yards and a touchdown. You could also make the case for Jalen Hurts, the quarterback, as an honorable mention. 20 of 33 passing, 216 yards, threw a touchdown, also had a 12-yard rushing touchdown in that game. Tagovailoa had a tough game that outing, 28 of 48, 258 yards, did have one touchdown. He was sacked twice, threw 2 interceptions. Of note in that earlier game, Las Vegas led 17-10 at halftime and then would go on to score 16 unanswered points to roll away in the win. Again, this is the third consecutive time these two teams have met. Last season, of course, Las Vegas won 38-27. The year before, St. Louis dominated 30-12. And of course, both of these teams that won that game won the Pantheon Bowl. So wondering if the trend will continue. All of these games have been at Las Vegas. None of these conference championships games have been at St. Louis. St. Louis 6-4 in conference championship games. Las Vegas 4-9. Las Vegas leads the all-time series 36-33. Let's get ready to take you out to the Horizon Dome. Capacity crowd here for the Western Conference Championship game. So glad you could join us. Vegas, a 9-point favorite. They did start out the week at 6.5-point favorites, but that number has jumped. Over/under in today's game is 52.5. We know Tampa Bay Bandits will be the Eastern Conference representative. They took care of London earlier with a 22-13 win in that game. Gus Edwards was the player of the game. And we're going to get ready to take you out to the Horizon Dome for the kickoff. Very good quarterback battle between the Stars' Tua Tagovailoa and Outlaws quarterback Jalen Hurts. Referee Clete Blakeman will administer the coin toss with the captains. St. Louis won the toss. They have deferred for the second half. So the Outlaws will get the ball first. It's 52 degrees outside the dome, but it's nice and cozy inside on a December 29th early evening. Tyler Bass tees up the football. Kipson is back to return, and the Western Conference Championship is underway, and the kickoff will not be returned. Touchback, and Vegas will start at their own 25. Let's take a look at the Vegas number 1 ranked offense. Jalen Hurts, a Offensive Player of the Year nominee, second year in a row, will get the start at quarterback. Alvin Kamara will start at running back. Jackson Smith-Jigba, Alan Lazard, and Elijah Moore, the wide receivers. Reggie Gilliam will be the tight end. Jason Kelsey at center. Trey Smith, Alex Camp are the guards. Jalen Duncan, Taylor Decker are the tackles. Las Vegas Outlaws in those familiar all-black uniforms. White numerals are going to be moving right to left across your screen. Hurts from the pistol formation, calling out the signals. Hand off to Kamara, right side. Gets close to the 30. Pickup of 3, tackled by Walker. We'll take a look at that St. Louis defense. Aforementioned Walker and Grenard are the defensive ends. Wilkins and Kennel are the defensive tackles. Jones and Quay Walker are the linebackers. Murphy and Chavarius Ward are the cornerbacks. Simmons and Bates are the safeties. Jamil Dean will be the nickelback. Vegas will now shift to a 2 tight end formation. Camaro will remain the lone running back. 2nd and 7. First pass of the afternoon. Incomplete. Pass intended for Goddard. It'll bring up 3rd down. St. Louis comes into today's game with the number 1 league's overall pass defense. They only allow just under 200 yards passing per game. Outlaws empty out the backfield on 3rd and 7. 3-man rush. Hurts drifts to his right to avoid the pressure. Throws back to Smith-Jigba at the 30. And he's tackled by Ward. Only a pickup of 3, and that'll bring up 4th down. So 3 and out go the Outlaws on the first possession of the game. Fox is back to punt. Covey back to return for the Stars. Fox gets the punt away. Drifting to the near sidelines, it'll go out of bounds inside the 5. And they'll mark it out at the 2-yard line. 67-yard punt by Fox. And St. Louis will start deep within their own side of the field. Let's take a look at that St. Louis offense. Tua Tagovailoa is the quarterback. Kenneth Gainwell will get the start at running back. Ramonte Stevenson, who's been the starting for most of the season, still dealing with some injuries. Devontae Smith, Traylon Burks, KJ Osborne are the wide receivers. Sam Laporta, Rookie of the Year nominee at tight end. Bradley Bozeman at center. Joe Thuney, Wyatt Teller are the guards. Jordan Mailata and Jake Matthews are the tackles. As St. Louis breaks the huddle, they are in their away uniforms. Gold helmets, gold pants, white jerseys. They have those black numerals with the red border. They're going to be moving left to right across your screen. From the pistol formation, standing in his own end zone, Tua will throw a quick pass, completes to Osborne, down at the 10, pickup of 8 yards. All right, and we'll take a look at the Las Vegas defense. Jermaine Johnson, Myles Garrett, Defensive Player of the Year nominee at defensive end. Vita Vea, Draymond Jones are the defensive tackles. Rashawn Gary, Trevon Walker are the linebackers. Denzel Ward, Trent McDuffie are the cornerbacks. Kirby Joseph, Julian Love are the safeties. Kadir Kohu is the nickelback. 2nd and 2, ball at the St. Louis 10. Tua to pass on 2nd and short. Completes it to Laporta at the 15. He's got the first down. Whipped down by Love, pick up a 4. They'll go double tight end formation here. Man in motion. Give us to Gainwell into the left side of the line. He's near the 20. Finally brought down by Phillips. Pick up of 5 yards for Gainwell. Hand off to Gainwell. Working that left side, has a first down, has a hole. He's past the 30. Ward finally brings him down at the 34. Pickup of 15, another St. Louis first down. St. Louis on the move here early. As we watch the replay here, St. Louis coming into the game with the 13th ranked run offense. Gainwell last week, 15 carries for 45 yards in the upset win at Memphis. Tua to pass on 1st and 10. Looking for Laporta, incomplete. Second and 10. 10.5 minutes to go. First quarter, no score. Tua looking for Burks, had it and then dropped it. Couldn't hold on. And that'll bring up 3rd and 10. Tua last week, 25 of 37, 236 yards, a touchdown and an interception in that game against the Express. Vegas rushing 3. Tua back to pass with time. Penalty on the play. McKenzie has the catch. Let's see what the penalty is.
12 men on the field. Defense. Number 52, 5-yard penalty.
So interesting call here for St. Louis head coach Chip Kelly. He's going to decline the penalty, take the yardage. It'll still be 4th and 1. And head coach Chip Kelly's going to keep the offense out there. They're going to go for it here on 4th and 1. Ball's at the St. Louis 43. Tua calling out the signals. Going to take it himself into the right side of the line. Picks up the first down. 5-yard pickup for Tua. First down, St. Louis. Just outside of midfield, St. Louis on the move on their first possession. Jerick McKinnon enters the game now at running back. He'll get the handoff. Penetrates the 50. And ball's just inside Vegas territory. A pickup of 3 yards by McKinnon. Under 10 minutes to go. 10th play of the St. Louis drive coming up. Remember, they started this drive at their own 2 after the 67-yard punt by Fox. Trips left formation. Tua, play action, throws to Smith. Near the 40, gets to the 35. Devontae Smith, 13-yard pickup, another St. Louis first down. Devontae Smith lined up against McDuffie here. Let's watch number 6. Gets the catch. Had a little help from Burks there. Ball will be placed at the Las Vegas 36. Give to Smith. Uh-oh, we got a reverse. To Burks. He's trying to get around the right side, and no gain. So Burks is stopped for no gain. A little trickery here from Chip Kelly early in this game. Brings up 2nd and 10. Tua to pass on 2nd and 10. We have a penalty flag. Pass is complete to Osborne.
Grabbing the face mask. Defense. Number 21, 15-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
So the completion to Osborne for 6, and we're going to tack on 15 to Denzel Ward for the face mask. So that'll put St. Louis inside the red zone. Las Vegas on their heels here early in the first quarter. 14th play of the drive from the Vegas 15. Handoff to Gainwell. Gets near the 15. Uzamoa brings him down at the 13, a pickup of 2 yards. We're already halfway through the first quarter. Vegas went 3 and out on their first possession, and St. Louis, starting from their own 2, driving down the field on the Outlaws defense. Second and 8. Tua looking for Laporta, but he can't come up with it. Incomplete. He'll bring up third down. Tua from the pistol, looking, has time, completes it to Osborne at the 5, pushed out of bounds by Ward. They're going to say he's short of the first down. Just short of the first down. And Chip Kelly's going to keep the offense out there. 17th play of this possession, which has taken up a lot of the first quarter. Tagovailoa calling out the signals. Calls his own number. Straight up the middle, and he's stopped. Stopped by Phillips, and what a stand made by the Vegas defense. Chip Kelly decides not to go for the field goal here, and so a lengthy St. Louis drive comes up with nothing. 6:09 to go here in quarter number 1, and we're still scoreless. You're watching the WFL on the Replay Sports Channel. The WFL utilizes real NFL players and the advanced simulation capabilities of DK Sports Action PC Football. The WFL strives to create a thrilling, strategic, and statistically rich football environment that balances realism and innovation. So the Vegas defense getting a much-needed breather, holding St. Louis to no points. Hurts and his offense go to work. Hurts to pass on first down, completes it to Smith-Jigba at the 10. Tackled by Ward, a pickup of 4. Vegas goes to the I formation. Gilliam in at fullback. The give to Kamara. Off right tackle. Gets near the 13. Stopped by Bates. A pickup of 3. It'll bring up third and short. 3rd and 3. 5.5 minutes to go in a scoreless first quarter. Hurts with time to throw. Checks down to Lazard, and it's going to be close. Only a pickup of 2. So once again, the Outlaws go 3 and out and are forced to punt. Fox back to punt, Covey back to return. Fox standing at about his own 1. St. Louis with an opportunity to get some good field position here, as Covey will return this to the St. Louis 34. Clock stops with 4:05 to go. No score between the Stars and the Outlaws. Fox's punt was 52 yards. Covey got a 1-yard return. Two tight end, one running back formation for St. Louis. The give is to Gainwell. Right side of the line gets to about the 36, a pickup of 2 yards. Gainwell's the workhorse here early, and he's going to go to the sideline for a breather. We'll get to see Ramondre Stevenson. He dealt with a shoulder injury for much of the second half of the season. Again, he came over last season via a trade with Paris for Tyrann Mathieu. Second and 8, 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. Tua to throw. Incomplete. Pass was intended for Burks. That'll bring up 3rd and 8. Tua 6 of 10 for 48 yards here, early going. Man in motion. Snap. Tua back to pass. Deflected by Kohu. Incomplete. Again, targeting Burks. So St. Louis, their first 3 and out of the game, they'll be forced to punt. Martin will come in to punt for St. Louis. Gibson will be back to return for Vegas. Martin gets the punt away. Gibson will call for the fair catch at the 19. So a 45-yard punt by Martin. Las Vegas will start their possession at their own 19 with 3:14 to go here, first quarter. Hurts, play action. Looking to throw. Deep over the middle. Intended for Alan Lazard. Tipped away by Bunting, by Murphy, at the last second. Incomplete. Hurts looking to go deep there on first down. Second and 10. Kamara on the draw play. Gets to the 20, the 25. Has the first down at the 30. Simmons with the tackle at the 31. 12-yard pickup for Kamara. Devin Singletary will check into the game now at running back. Give us to Singletary, around left in, gets to the 35, pushed out of bounds near the 40 by Jones, pickup of 9 yards. So the Las Vegas Outlaws offense starting to show some signs of life here. Kamara checks back in at running back. Hurts in trouble. Tucks it and run. He's got the first down. He's at the 45. Tackled by Bates near the 50. Pickup of 9 yards for the quarterback. Both quarterbacks not afraid to run with the ball. First and 10, ball just outside the midfield logo, signifying Western Conference Championship game. Gives to Camaro, breaks into St. Louis territory, tackled by Clark after a gain of 5. Las Vegas with the #1 rush offense in the league, going up against the league's next to last run defense. Singletary checks back in at running back. Haven't seen Jonathan Taylor yet, but he is healthy and able to play. Give to Singletary, right side of the line, 45, 40, first down, 35. Clark with the tackle, and that'll be the final play of the first quarter. So St. Louis looked to be on the move, but they went for it on 4th and inches near the goal line. They were unsuccessful. And now Las Vegas, after having withstood some of the early attacks by St. Louis, is on a drive of their own. So 1 quarter in the books. We move on to the second quarter here at the Horizon Dome in Las Vegas. Second quarter underway here. Outlaws with a first down, ball at the St. Louis 33. Winner to face Tampa Bay in Pantheon Bowl 23. Hurts to throw. Over the middle to Goddard near the 26-yard line. Tackled by Simmons. They'll mark him at the 27. Outlaws switch back to an I formation. Hand off to Singletary. And he is met behind the line of scrimmage by Walker. Loss of 2. And that'll bring up 3rd and 6. Ball's at the St. Louis 29. No score here between the Stars and the Outlaws. 3rd consecutive year that these two teams have met in the conference championship. Oh, and Hertz is dropped by Grenard. So watch it as Grenard, 52 there, gets around Duncan and then gets the sack. 4th and long, and that will bring out Matt Gay. This will be from 53 yards out, and it is good. So a 10-play, 45-yard drive taking up 5 minutes, 31 seconds results in the game's first points. Matt Gay, 54-yard field goal, and the Outlaws with the early lead. Gay set to kick off. McKenzie will be the return man for the Stars. He's going to take it from his own goal line. He's to the 10, bounces back to the 15, missed tackle at the 20. Simmons finally takes him down at the 22. So a 23-yard pickup by McKenzie. And it'll be St. Louis ball. They'll start at their own 22. McKinnon is the lone running back behind Tua. McKinnon will get the handoff up the middle. He's to near the 29, pickup of 7 yards for McKinnon. And Stevenson checks into the game at running back. Sweeps left, penetrating the line, and nothing doing. Pace with a tackle at the line of scrimmage. And that'll bring up 3rd down. Just underway here, 2nd quarter. And Vegas will call a timeout. So timeout on the field. Those of you that follow the league know that defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn for Las Vegas under consideration for several landing spots as a head coach around the league. Detroit, Toronto, 2 of the names being mentioned. So after the Vegas timeout, reset, 3rd and 3, ball at the St. Louis 29, 11:26 left to go until halftime. Three-man rush, Tua back to pass. Throws, completes to Smith at the 35. He's got a 1st down, taken down by McDuffie, a pickup of 8 yards. Gainwell checks back into the game at running back. Ball at the St. Louis 37, 1st and 10. Gainwell sweeps left to the 40. Pace with the tackle at the 42. Pickup of 5 yards. Gainwell, 5 carries for 29 yards so far. Second and 5. Tua throws. Laporta at midfield. And he's angled out of bounds by Love. First down, pickup of 9 yards. Ball just inside Vegas territory. 9:51 to go until halftime. Penalty flag.
Offense, number 68, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
So false start on the tackle, Jordan Mailata. They'll move the ball back to the St. Louis side of the 50, St. Louis 46. It can get a little loud here at the Horizon Dome. Tua back to pass. Looking for Burks, incomplete. From the pistol, Tua throws a screen intended for Stevenson, but it's right through his hands, incomplete. That'll bring up third and a very long 15.
Encroachment, defense, number 11, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, third down.
So Johnson getting caught with the twitch. That'll improve the lie, as they say in golf. Third and 10, ball up the Las Vegas 49. Tua back to pass. Has time. Completes it to Burks at the 45. And Kohu with the stop, a pickup of 4. And once again, Chip Kelly's going to leave the offense out there. It's 4th and 6. They're going to go for it.
Delay of game, offense, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, fourth down.
So the attempt to try to draw Vegas offside did not work. So I'll put St. Louis 5 yards back to their own, or to the midfield, and that will bring out Martin to punt. Gibson back deep to return. Martin gets the punt away. Inside the 10-yard line. And the officials will mark the ball out at the 7. So 43-yard punt by Martin. Vegas will start at their own 7. 8:13 to go here in the second quarter. There is now an official blog for the WFL called Around the WFL. Around the WFL aims to capture the excitement and flavor of the league. It includes recaps, highlights, key players and teams, and previews of upcoming action. You can subscribe for free today, glennwalker.substack.com. The link will be provided in the show description. 8:13 left until halftime. Outlaws with a 3-0 lead. They'll start from their own 7. I formation behind Hurts. Give is to Singletary, right side of the line, gets near the 11. Tackled by Walker, pick up a 4. Kamara checks back into the game at running back. He gets the handoff. Off tackle right. 15. Stopped by Clark at the 16. 5-yard pickup for Kamara. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 1. Kamara on the night. 5 carries for 28 yards. Third and 1. Seeing that familiar formation that Vegas loves to run here. Hurts. Calling his own number. Just follows his center, Jason Kelsey. Picks up the yard for the first down. Fresh set of downs for Vegas. 6.5 minutes to go until halftime. They lead 3-0. Handoff Kamara. Right tackle. 20, 25. Bates trips him up at the 26, a gain of 9 yards. Singletary will check back into the game at running back. The give to Singletary. He's got the first down. Stopped by Jones at the 29, pickup of 3. Substituting running backs left and right. Kamara back into the game. Pounding the rock. Gets near the 35. Bates pulls him down. Pickup of 6. Under 5 minutes to play here in quarter number 2. Penalty flag on the play as the screen pass to Kamara is incomplete.
Defense. Number 94, 5-yard penalty.
So penalty on Wilkins, Vegas will accept. Automatic first down. Clock stops with 3:43. Pitch right to Kamara. Looking for a hole. 45. Clark with the tackle at the 48. Pickup of 8 yards. 3.5 minutes to go until halftime. The number 1 rushing offense giving it to the number 19th ranked running defense. 50, 45. Finally, Kamara brought down at the 34 by Bates. Several missed tackles there. 18-yard pickup by Kamara. As we watch the replay again, the holes that are being opened by that offensive line. Kamara gets away from one man, gets to the 30, stopped at the 25 by Jones. Kamara with 78 yards already. And we have reached the 2-minute warning. 2-minute warning. Vegas on the move. They lead 3-0. As a team, they've already ran the ball 17 times for 115 yards. Jalen Hurts is just 4 of 6. He's only thrown the ball 6 times in this game. This time Hurts operating from the pistol, and he is going to throw. Penalty flag on the play, though. Checks down to Kamara. Gets to the 20.
Offsetting penalties. Repeat, second down.
So that play will not count. We'll do it over. Minute 56 left to go until halftime. Vegas with a 3-0 lead. Second and 1. Hurts will just tuck it and follow his center, Jason Kelce. He's got the first down and more. 20, 15. Stopped by Simmons at the 11. Pick up a 14 yards for Jalen Hurts. It's as if St. Louis cannot stop the Vegas running attack. First and 10 at the St. Louis 11. 13th play of the drive coming up. Handoff to Kamara. Left side. Pickup of about a yard. That's it. Minute 18 to go until halftime. Double tight end formation. Hurts in trouble. Gonna have to run for it. He's to the 5. End zone touchdown. So Jalen Hurts with the 10-yard touchdown run, and Vegas increases their lead. Matt Gay on to try the extra point. So with 49 seconds left, Vegas has opened up a 10-0 lead over the Stars. Gay's kickoff will be returned by McKenzie at the goal line. He's to the 10, the 15, the 20, 30, 40, near midfield. Simmons with the touchdown-saving tackle at the St. Louis 45. So McKenzie with a 45-yard kick return. St. Louis with all 3 timeouts, great field position, could get a score on the board. And remember, they deferred the coin toss. They get the ball to start the second half. Five wide receivers set for the Stars. Tua from the pistol, back to pass. Has time, completes it to Smith at the Vegas 45, tackled by McDuffie. Quick timeout called by head coach Chip Kelly. Ball at the Las Vegas 43, 40 seconds left to go in the first half. Man in motion. Tua has time. Over the middle, over the hands of Osborne. Osborne thought he was interfered with by Denzel Ward, but they're not going to get the call. St. Louis will not get the call there. Clock stops with 34 seconds. Second and 10. Ball at the Las Vegas 43. Tua back to pass. Vegas only rushing 3. Over the middle for Smith. Deflected by Joseph. That was nearly picked off by McDuffie. That'll bring up third and 10. 29 seconds left. Tua barking out the signals. Back to pass. Has time. Throws near side to Smith, near the 35. Trying to angle his way out of bounds, but McDuffie keeps him in bounds. So just a 7-yard pickup for Smith. Timeout will be called again by St. Louis. And this time Chip Kelly will send the kicking unit out. He will not try to go for it here on fourth down. Tyler Bass will try to put the Stars on the board here late in the first half. Bass from about 54 yards away, and it's good. So with 18 seconds left, both kickers have made 54-yard field goals. Stars finally on the board, trailing by 7, and they will get the ball to start the second half. Kickoff will be downed in the end zone for a touchback. And I think Jalen Hurts and company here is just going to kneel down and take the lead at the half. And that is what they will do. So we are through the first half of play in our 2024 Western Conference Championship. And the Outlaws, on their quest for back-to-back Pantheon Bowl championships, are at least halfway to at least getting to the Pantheon Bowl. They have 30 minutes to go. They lead 10-3. It's halftime here at the Horizon Dome. And this episode of the Replay Sports Channel is brought to you by Royal Retros, your ultimate one-stop shop representing the teams of the past. Royal Retros has something for you. Every product tells a unique story, and you can be sure that you will stand out from the crowd with something different. Head over to Royal Retros today, www.royalretros.com. Use the code REPLAY, REPLAY, to get 10% off your order. The link is provided in the show's description. Again, that's www.royalretros.com. Make sure to use the code REPLAY. And we've completed one half of play between the Stars and the Outlaws, and it's the Outlaws that lead it 10-3. After deferring the coin toss, St. Louis sent their defense out and they forced Vegas on a 3-and-out. And then on offense, St. Louis went on a lengthy drive, 17 plays, 92 yards, but they came up snake eyes. Nothing. They tried to go for it on 4th and inches, and they came up with nothing. Both teams traded field position, and then finally Las Vegas struck first. Early in the second quarter, Matt Gay kicked a 54-yard field goal for Vegas to take a 3-0 lead. And then after forcing another St. Louis punt, Las Vegas scored the game's first touchdown. Jalen Hurts on a 10-yard scramble made the score 10-0. And then late in the second quarter, Tyler Bass with a 54-yard field goal made the score 10-3. As we take a look at the first half numbers, somewhat fairly even, with a few exceptions. Las Vegas, true to form, relying heavily on the rushing game. They ran the ball 21 times for 139 yards. Very effective. The league's number one rushing offense versus the league's 19th ranked run defense. Passing. Jalen Hurts has only attempted 6 passes, 4 completions, 15 yards, compared to the 11 of 20 that Tua Tagovailoa has for 88. Several penalties there. One no call that St. Louis would probably like to have back, the potential defensive pass interference on Osborne late in the game that wasn't called. Time of possession, fairly close. Third down percentage, though, frustrating for both teams. St. Louis 1 of 6, Las Vegas 1 of 4. And then as you see in the total offense department, St. Louis 131 yards, Las Vegas 147. As we mentioned, Vegas outrushing St. Louis. Alvin Kamara, 11 carries, 79 yards so far. The leading gainer for St. Louis is Gainwell, 5 carries for 29 yards. Devontae Smith has 5 catches for 40 yards for the Stars. And there you can see the tie for leading receiver for Vegas. So as we did in the earlier game, if you missed it during our London-Tampa Bay game, the WFL League office has announced the semifinalist for the 2025 WFL Hall of Fame. So we'd like to share those names with you now. And these are the list of the 9 semifinalists. Of course, the finalists, the class of 2025 will be announced at the Gridiron Awards the night before the Pantheon Bowl. So here we go. Alan Faneca, 5-time All-Star for Denver, also a 2-time Pantheon Bowl champion. Dwight Freeney, 8-time All-Star, played his time between Denver and London, also a 3-time Pantheon Bowl champion, sacks leader, 2 years, 2003-2005. Tony Gonzalez, tight end, formerly of Atlanta, ended his career with Tampa Bay and Houston. 9-time All-Star, has over 1,100 receptions. Steve Hutchinson, guard, played mostly for Memphis and Denver, 6-time All-Star, 3-time Pantheon Bowl champion. Andre Johnson, wide receiver for Birmingham and then later Toronto, a 5-time All-Star, ended his career with 990 receptions. Eli Manning, quarterback of the New York Federals, also Washington Federals, Pantheon Bowl champion in 2011, could be joining his brother Peyton in the Hall of Fame. Ed Reed, 6-time All-Star defensive back with Orlando, Florida Blazers, ended his career with 45 interceptions. Adam Vinatieri, a kicker for the Chicago Fire, lasted his whole career there, ended his career with 1,711 points. And then finally, Reggie Wayne, wide receiver, 5-time All-Star, finished his career with 924 receptions. So again, congratulations to those gentlemen. Again, we will know the finalists. They will be announced at the Gridiron Awards the night before Pantheon Bowl 23. We know Tampa Bay will be one of the teams playing. We are 30 minutes away from finding out who will join them. Will it be the St. Louis Stars, the 2022 champions, or will it be the Outlaws, the 2023 champions? So tune in to find out as the second half gets underway. St. Louis will get the kickoff. Remember, they deferred the coin toss. And the second half's underway. McKenzie will take it at his 1 to the 10. Cuts back to the 15. Hit, fumble. And we'll see who has the ball. And St. Louis will recover the fumble. So at about the 30-yard line, McKenzie coughed up the football. Gainwell recovers it, and that's where St. Louis will start their first drive of the third quarter. So St. Louis very lucky there to hang on to the football. Tua Tagovailoa operating out of the pistol. First play from scrimmage in the third quarter. Back to pass. Fires for Ferguson over the middle. He can't hang on to it. Incomplete. Second and 10. Pitch left to McKinnon. To the 30. And that's about it. Myles Garrett, we haven't heard much from him tonight with the tackle. That'll bring up third down. As we mentioned in the halftime, both teams struggling on third down. A combined 2 of 10 on third down. St. Louis trailing by 7. Tua forced to run. Gets to the 35. Finally spun down by Joseph at the 38. So a pickup of 8 yards. And that will bring up 4th and 2, and out will come the punting unit. So 3 and out for the Stars to start the second half. Martin back to punt. Gibson back to return. Gibson from his own 11. Gets to the 15. Cuts back. Hit. Fumble. And let's see who has the football. Vegas comes up with it. So Gibson with the fumble. McDuffie with the recovery. So 49-yard punt by Martin. 9-yard return by Gibson. Las Vegas will set up at their own 22. Outlaws trying to pick up where they left off at halftime. They keep feeding Alvin Kamara. Pickup of 2, pulled down by Kinlaw at the 24. Kamara, 12 carries, 81 yards. Last week, just 14 carries, 59 yards in the win last week over Chicago. From the pistol. Hurts will throw. Screen to Kamara. Gets by one man, two men, first down. Finally tackled by Bates at the 40. Pickup of 16 for the Outlaws. Outlaws operating out of the I formation. Give us to Kamara. Up the middle, 45, 50. Breaks into St. Louis territory. Jones finally with the tackle at the St. Louis 44. A pickup of 16 yards. Kamara getting close to 100 yards rushing for the game. Hurts to pass on first down. Completes the screen to Kamara at midfield. Looking for a block. He's at the 40. Hit by Walker near the 38. Pickup of 6 yards. Outlaws just so methodical as they move down the field. Jonathan Taylor checks into the game at running back. The give is to Taylor. Off tackle left, near the first down. He'll be a yard shy. He'll bring up 3rd and 1. Full house formation. I think St. Louis knows what's going to happen here, just they have to try to stop it. Hurts. Tucks the ball. Dives in. Pile moves forward. Finally stopped by Simmons at the 29. Pickup of 6 yards. First down, Las Vegas. I'm sure topic number one at halftime for St. Louis is how did they stop Las Vegas's running attack? So far, they haven't found the answer to that. Kamara back into the game. Vegas in the I formation. Under 10 minutes to go. Kamara takes the ball pitch right and is stopped at the line of scrimmage. First time Kamara has been stopped for 0 or negative yards in the game so far. 14 carries. It's all been positive yardage except for that one. Didn't get anything. Second and 10. Hurts drifts to his right, checks down to Kamara at midfield 30. And Bates will spin him down. No gain. So they'll bring up 3rd and 10. Clock continues to run. 8 minutes, 4 seconds to go. St. Louis went 3 and out to start the second half. Vegas driving deep into St. Louis territory. Empty backfield behind Hurts. Back to pass. Only 3 men rushing for St. Louis. Plenty of time to throw over the middle. Looking for Gibson. Closely guarded by Savage. Incomplete. And that'll bring up 4th down, and out will come Matt Gay for the field goal attempt. Matt Gay made an attempt earlier in the game from 54 yards. This one should be from 46. And the kick is good. So with 7:18 left to play in the third quarter, Vegas, 10 plays, 49 yards, 5 minutes, 51 seconds, results in a Matt Gay 47-yard field goal. They lead it 13-3. The Horizon Dome here in Las Vegas, packed to capacity here for the Western Conference Championship game. Las Vegas looking to go back to their 2nd straight Pantheon Bowl and do something that no other team has done.
Illegal block. Receiving team, 10-yard penalty.
So on the return, penalty on the Stars. Just their 4th penalty of the day. And the kick will net McKenzie 25 yards officially. The Outlaws looking to do something no other team has done since the BC Cougars of 1989-1990, and that's when back-to-back league titles. Gainwell, the lone running back, 2 tight end formation for St. Louis. Gainwell gets the handoff, off tackle left. Myles Garrett meets him there, a loss of 1. Tua back to pass on 2nd down, completes the pass to Osborne at the 30. He's hit by Ward. Pickup of 11, 1st down St. Louis. Fresh set of downs for the Stars. Handoff to McKinnon. Right side. Gets near the 35. Dropped by Love. Pickup of 4. Second and 6 from the St. Louis 35. 5.5 minutes to go, third quarter. Tua's pass to Burks is complete at the 45, angled out of bounds by Kohu. 1st down, St. Louis. Ball's at the St. Louis 44. Man in motion. The give is to Gainwell. Up the middle. And picks up about 2 yards. Johnson with a stop at the 46. Pick up 2 yards for Gainwell. Tua back to pass on 2nd and 8. Looking for Burks. In and out of his hands. Incomplete. 2 drops so far today for Treylon Burks. Brings up 3rd and 8. Tua back to pass. Has plenty of time to throw. Completes it to Burks inside Las Vegas territory, trying to reach for that 1st down. Kohu knocks him out. Be a pickup of 6. Brings up 4th and 2. And if you're Chip Kelly, head coach of St. Louis, you got to go for it here. Tua brings them out. They need to get to the Las Vegas 46 for the first down. Tua on the keeper. Plows into the right side. Has the first down and a little bit more. Johnson with the tackle at the Las Vegas 39. Pickup of 9 yards. 1st and 10, St. Louis. Kind of a no-brainer situation. You're down by 10 late third quarter. Had to go for it there. Two tight end set.
Start. Offense. Number 70. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
So that will back the Stars up to the Las Vegas 44. Clock stops with 1:57 left to go here in the third quarter. Tua calling out the signals. Back to pass. Incomplete. Looking for Burks, but Kohu well guarding the receiver. I'll bring up 2nd and 15.
False start. Offense. Number 16. 5-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
And this time they get Traylon Burks for the false start. Moving back 5 yards. It is very loud here in the Horizon Dome. Las Vegas players on the sidelines encouraging the fans to continue to make loud noise. Tua going to a silent count here. Back to pass on 2nd and 20. Throws the screen near side to Gainwell at midfield. He's into Vegas territory. He's to the 40. Finally tackled by Walker at the 38. A pickup of 11. And that will bring up 3rd and 9. Four wide receivers set in for St. Louis. Tua throws near side to Devontae Smith at the 35. Tackled by McDuffie, just a pickup of 4. So once again, minute to go, third quarter. Chip Kelly's going to keep the offense out there. This crowd's trying to make things louder. Man in motion. Tua back to pass. Incomplete. But Burks may have been interfered with. There's going to be no call. So another turnover on downs. Kohu and Burks, definitely some hand-to-hand combat there. Chip Kelly's trying to get an explanation from one of the officials. Don't think that official's heard the end of that argument. 24 seconds left. Las Vegas will start at their own 34. They lead by 10. Gilliam coming through on a jet sweep near side, and he's going to be hit behind the line of scrimmage. And that's going to be the last play of the third quarter. Three quarters are in the books. Las Vegas, 15 minutes away from a return to the Pantheon Bowl. You're watching the Western Conference Championship for the WFL here on the Replay Sports Channel. So just the field goal by Matt Gay was all the scoring in the third quarter, but Las Vegas now leads 13-3 as we head into the final quarter of this Western Conference Championship. So we start the fourth quarter. The Las Vegas Outlaws looking to do something that has not been done in quite a while. Back-to-back Pantheon Bowl appearances. More on that a little later. 2nd and 13 from their own 31 to start things off. Hurts from the pistol. Back to pass. Screens to Kamara. Gets to about the 33 before being tackled by Bates. 10 tackles on the afternoon for Jesse Bates. I'll bring up 3rd and 12. Four wide receiver set. Hurts back to pass. Oh, had it and he dropped it. Could not hold on. So that'll bring up a punting situation for Las Vegas. Fox back to punt. Covey back to return for the Stars. Fox gets the punt away. Covey returns from his own 11. He's to the 20. Finally caught by the leg by Campbell at the St. Louis 27. 55-yard punt by Fox and a 14-yard return by Covey. 14:08 to go, fourth quarter. St. Louis has the ball at the 27. They trail by 10 points. Tua is going to throw on first down. Completes it to Smith near the 40. Finally pushed out of bounds by McDuffie. Pick up a 15, first down St. Louis. Two tight end formation. Quick toss to Laporta at midfield. Close to the first down. Tackled by Love. Pickup of 8. Ball's at midfield. Handoff to McKinnon, left side. Stopped by Garrett at the line of scrimmage. Denzel Ward being helped off the field. The excellent cornerback for the Outlaws is being helped to the sidelines. Flott will come in to replace him at cornerback. 3rd and 2. Ball rest at the 50-yard line. Tua to throw. Has time. Looking for Laporta. Incomplete. Kelly keeps the offense out on the field. Really has no option at this point. Trailing by 10, 4th quarter. Game to decide who goes to the Pantheon Bowl. Tua to pass. Completes it to Burks near the 40. Taylor with the tackle. Pickup of 9 for Burks. Ball will be placed at the Las Vegas 41. Pass to Burks. Complete at the 35. Angled out of bounds by Taylor. Pickup of 8. Second and 2. Handoff to McKinnon. Off tackle right. He's close to the first down marker. Tackled by Jones. He's going to be a few inches shy of the first down marker. Tua calling out the signals. He's going to dive in, take this one himself. Picks up the first down. 3-yard gain for Tua. 1st and 10 St. Louis. Trips left formation. Tua back to pass. Looking for Smith, incomplete. Smith double covered on that play. Clock stops with 9:41 left. 10th play of the drive coming up. Tua on the delayed draw. He's to the 25, 20. Joseph with the tackle at the 19. Pickup of 9 yards for Tagovailoa. Brings up 3rd and 1. Penalty flag.
Offense, number 14, 5-yard penalty.
That'll back him up 5 yards. Ball rest of the Las Vegas 24, 3rd and 6. Short pass to Laporta, near side. He's to the 25-20, nears the 10. Love catches him at the 12. I think Laporta lost a shoe there. Pickup of 12 yards. First down, St. Louis. Ball at the Las Vegas 12. Just under 9 minutes to go. Tua, back to pass. Looking, finds an open Ferguson at the 5. Tackled by Joseph immediately. Pickup of 5 yards. They'll set the ball at the Las Vegas 7. This drive is consumed almost 6 minutes. Tagovailoa sweeps right. Inside to the 2. He picks up the first down. Tackled by Uzamoa. Halfway through the 4th quarter. 1st and goal, St. Louis. Handoff Gainwell. And he is stopped by Vita Vea. Loss of a yard. The big man with the big stop. Under 7 minutes to go. Triple tight end formation. Pass to Laporta. Complete touchdown. They get the touchdown. Three yards out, Laporta scores. As we watch that play again on the replay. And they'll go for 1 here. And Bass's point after attempt is good. So a developing situation here. Stars score a touchdown late. And with 6 minutes, 1 second left, they only trail by 3 points. Gibson's going to return it from the end zone. He's to the 10, 15, 20, 25, 35. Taki with the tackle at the 36. A 38-yard return by Gibson. Good field position for Vegas. They start with the ball with 5:49 left to go. Both teams have all 3 of their timeouts remaining. We'll see if Las Vegas can use up some clock and run here. Hand off to Taylor. into the right sideline. He's got the first down and stopped at the 49 by Bates. 13-yard pickup for Taylor. Outlaws in no hurry, taking their time. Give us to Kamara. Right side. Penetrates St. Louis territory, picks up 2 yards. Now bring up 2nd and 8. Second and 8. Under 5 minutes left to go. Hand off to Kamara. Left side of the line. Met by Jones at the 45. 4-yard gains for Kamara. That also puts him over 100 for the game. Averaging 6.4 yards per carry. However, it brings up 3rd and 4. Las Vegas needs to get to the St. Louis 41 to move the chains. From the pistol, Hurts, quick toss, intercepted by Murphy at the 35, returns it into St. Louis territory. Murphy with the interception, and boy, did the air just come out of the horizon zone. As we watch the replay, Murphy with the pick. And St. Louis now in position to either tie or take the lead with 3.5 minutes left to go. Oh my goodness. Bates being mobbed on the St. Louis sideline. A 28-yard interception return that could be the difference maker. Tua in the pistol. 3 wide receiver set. Back to pass. Has plenty of time to throw. Looking for Laporta. Incomplete. Laporta wanting a flag but not getting one. Clock stops with 3:17. Give us to Gainwell. Gainwell flips it back to Smith. It's a reverse. Around the right side. Oh, and he's tackled 12 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So that one did not go as planned. That moves St. Louis all the way back to the Las Vegas 46. They are out of Tyler Bass field goal range, so they're going to need to make up for it here. 3rd and 22. Tua back to pass. Looking. Has time. Fires. And intercepted. Joseph with the interception. And Vegas may have just sealed their fate. So I think Kohu tipped it, and then Joseph was able to pick it up out of the air. So we'll watch the replay again here. That's exactly what happened. 2:33 left to go. And Vegas gets another opportunity here. Hand off to Kamara. Right side, 45-40. Finally dragged down by Jones at the 37, and that should bring up the 2-minute warning. So 2-minute warning. Vegas, 2 minutes away from going to back-to-back Pantheon Bowls. You got to go back to the Denver Gold. 2010, 2011 was the last time that you had a team go to back-to-back Pantheon Bowls. Of course, Denver won the first one. They lost the second one. If you're a Las Vegas fan, you don't want to hear that right now. And of course, Tampa Bay earlier in the day defeated London 22-13. And if Las Vegas holds on here in the next 2 minutes, it would set up the first league championship Pantheon Bowl rematch. You got to go all the way back to the beginning of this league, 1978, 1979, Dallas-Pittsburgh. Those two teams played in the first two league title games. So how about that? 2-minute timeout has ended. I would imagine Las Vegas will definitely try to keep the ball on the ground here. Minimize any turnover possibilities here. Force St. Louis to use those timeouts. Kamara off tackle left. He is close to the first down. They're going to give it to him. St. Louis will immediately call a timeout. Taylor will check into the game at running back. Kamara, 18 carries, 113 yards. Got to be a nominee for our Replay Sports Channel Player of the Game. Taylor takes the handoff into the right side of the line, 35, near the 31. Tackled by Kinlaw, another Stars timeout. 4-yard pickup for Taylor. Pantheon Bowl in 2 weeks at Blaze Force Sports Park in London. Tampa Bay Bandits will be there. And in less than 2 minutes, Vegas is hoping to be there as well. 2nd and 6. Kamara gets away from one man. Inside the 30 to the 25, tackled by Bates, gets the first down. So on the day, Las Vegas has carried the ball 34 times for 203 yards, averaged 6 yards a game. And Hurts will line them up in victory formation. And St. Louis will use their last timeout. players are already beginning to celebrate on that Las Vegas sideline. Witnessing a huge accomplishment here in WFL history. First time in 14 years a team is going to a back-to-back title game. And one more kneel down ought to do it. They stuck to the game plan. Of course, St. Louis is going to ruse some missed opportunities in this game. As Hurts with one final kneel down. And that will do it as the Las Vegas Outlaws outlast the St. Louis Stars to take the Western Conference Championship 13-10. It'll be the Las Vegas Outlaws and the Tampa Bay Bandits facing one another again in the Pantheon Bowl 2 weeks from today. Player of the game, Alvin Kamara. "19 carries, 120 yards. On the ground, 4 catches, 23 yards through the air." Thank you so much for watching the Western Conference Championship on the Replay Sports Channel. Again, sponsored by Royal Retros. Make sure to head over to Royal Retros. Use the code REPLAY. Get 10% off your order today. Go ahead and pre-order those Tampa Bay Bandit, Las Vegas Outlaw jerseys now. Get ready for Pantheon Bowl 23. Also, make sure to follow our blog Around the WFL, all the latest news and notes as we head into championship week. Again, you've been watching the Replay Sports Channel, exclusive coverage of the WFL. Have a great day and get excited for Pantheon Bowl week.